All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are here on Super Bowl Sunday, and look at that son of a bitch over there, Mr. Seth Lynch, rejoining us here for some awesome Heroes Cup number 9 from ESL Heroes, the Go4 Americas Cup. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Looking forward to casting ESL once again, especially as it's the upcoming week of the major tournament, which is obviously a big deal every Tuesday and Thursday. So
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and these teams have been fighting for a spot in that major tournament for quite some time now. I believe the better part of coming up on 2 months now. And they're finally going to be able to get in that major tournament and fight for the big bucks with all the big teams. So we're seeing a lot of teams trying to get in there. There's only a couple more weeks left for them to get into that tournament. So we're definitely being seeing some good matches with some of the familiar names that we're used to seeing. And also, of course, this is an open tournament that anyone can sign up for. So we're going to see some new blood competing as well.
Yeah, we are. Today, Team Heroes Hype, a name that has definitely been around and gotten into the top 16 twice now. Once for December, once for January. Unfortunately, just did not make the cut. They're up against newcomers. I don't even know how to say this, but I think we settled on WrKkd.
Yes, it's spelled WrKkd. KKD. So we're going to go with WrKkd for now until one of the members on that team gives us the actual phonetic arrangement of how you were supposed to say that. But until then, they will be known as WrKkd from Sean and I.
So best of one here, round of 16. We're going to jump into the draft. They're not in the lobby, but they are ready to go on the draft. The Storm draft tool is once again being used here. Nifty little thing, very aesthetic as well. Teams have definitely embraced it for sure.
Yes.
So do you have your draft information, sir?
I do. I'm looking at a from Hero Hype. They went out ahead and banned the Kerrigan, and WrKkd looks like they went ahead and banned the Stitches, if I'm looking at this correctly.
And we are going to the Garden of Terror. So the Garden of Terror versus, a Stitches versus a Kerrigan. We've been actually seeing a lot of Kerrigan bans. If you were tuning in this weekend, there have been a heck of a lot of Kerrigan bans.
They just don't want to deal with the strength of Kerrigan throughout the entire part of the game, but specifically the early game. That's what she's known for. It's just that early game rotation with her stun combination, and it just can absolutely destroy any hero that gets caught in it. Whether you're a tanky frontline warrior or you're a squishy backline assassin, if you get caught with that Kerrigan combination, you can pick off almost anyone if you're a really strong Kerrigan player. And teams just don't want to deal with it. They'd rather deal with Tychus, they'd rather deal with Vala, they'd rather deal with Tassadar, and that's exactly what we're seeing being picked up from both of these teams.
That's exactly right. Tychus was the first pick here from Heroes Hype. If he doesn't go through those bans, he is going to be one of those first picks. But more often than not, we are seeing the Vala first pick from teams over even the Tychus. I had a 4th pick Tychus on Friday. Back in the ESL monthly cup, so that was absolutely strange. And to go with the Vala, of course, is going to be the Arthas, and that's very kind of typical big picks here. I mean, we got an assassin on both sides, but the front line of Arthas with the Stitches down. I mean, he's still basically #1 warrior NA because of that ban.
Absolutely. I mean, him and Stitches are kind of in their own league right now. Those are the ones always being picked up. Stitches obviously maybe having a little bit more priority as he got banned out. Further into the draft, we are seeing the newer hero, Thrall. He's starting to see a little bit more play as time goes on, which I think is what everyone was thinking was going to happen. Because obviously teams aren't going to jump right into a new hero when they haven't had time to practice. And now teams are starting to practice a little bit more, and we're starting to see a little bit more Thrall, especially when he's up against a Witch Doctor, because that Sundering, his heroic we see, is such an effective tool at dealing with Witch Doctor's Ravenous Spirit.
Well, we should probably mention then that Tassadar and Nazeebo were both picked up here from Heroes Hype, so that completes their second round. And as we have now alluded, it will be that Thrall to interrupt those Ravenouses. The Sundering is absolutely a great tool for that regard. But they also pick up the healer of a Brightwing. Good mobility on this map as well. The Bribe will come in handy. A lot of Merc camps for you to be dashing in and around.
Yes.
And some good steal opportunities as well could be coming out of that after a very favorable team fight. So flip side, Heroes Hype. They need to put themselves a warrior and a support on the board. In terms of warriors, these days we're seeing more and more ETC, but a very safe pick would actually be a very Tyrael right now.
We see more Tyrael, we see more ETC. Before then we're seeing Murden every now and then from specific teams. He's starting to still a good pickup. He's a good frontliner. He has a lot of control with his stuns and whatnot. His Thunderclap would be a really effective tool. Just if he gets the slow talent at level 1 that it slows attack speed, that'd be good at dealing with the Vala as well. So Murden would definitely be a good fit here. I could see Tyrael working out as well. And also, and as you mentioned, the ETC. And with that being said, we've seen ETC being played, but we've seen him played in different ways. Teams utilizing him in different manners. Yesterday in Kings of the Storm, we saw Cloud9 Vortex using Stage Dive to great effect, actually beating their sister team, Cloud9 Maelstrom. We saw Mosh Pit being used to great effect as well. So that's really cool to see. Not only is he kind of being played a lot more often, but he's being played in more ways than one. But with that being said, Tyrael is going to be the choice for Heroes Hype.
And that will also now leave us in a spot for a healer. They do got the Taskmaster, but he's more of a brawler rather than that support. Although we do open up the possibility here for a double healing ward to go with the shields. But at this point, you know, we do got the Malfurion left. We got the Uther left. Looking at this, not entirely too sure we'll see an Uther, but, you know, there is a very close range Thrall, a really close range Arthas to go with all this. So it's still definitely a good option. And, it looks like they're actually going to take that option. So it's not going to be a Malfurion, not for the silence. They just, they don't feel too confident with that. What's a thought here for the last pick worked?
I mean, Sergeant Hammer's being picked up a lot, but this is Garden of Terror. It's a large map. One of the weaknesses of Sergeant Hammer is that she's not the most mobile hero in the world. So I don't think we'll see Sergeant Hammer. There is a possibility here of, I mean, there's always Zagara, but again, Zagara also suffers a lot of problems that the same reason why we don't see other assassins coming into play. We saw Raynor yesterday from Evil Geniuses. That didn't work out too well for him. And there's also Falstad. And there is just the option to go with a Rhaegar. So this is really cool. Check it out. I like this for a number of reasons. Yeah, Shaman boys are here and they're ready to do some work, man. One reason, if you've played against this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In the middle of a team fight, when you have a Thrall and a Rhaegar, and obviously Rhaegar's not in wolf form, it can be really hectic sometimes to figure out which one is which. It can be annoying sometimes because they're both green and they're both running around and they're both melee. But I mean, obviously, when they're in different lanes, it's pretty easy to tell. But that's just one little thing to pick up on. But yeah, we're seeing more double healers compositions, and obviously that's exactly what they're going to go with. I mean, I don't see how Bloodlust will work out very well here with the Rhaegar. I think we're going to see Ancestral Healing and put a lot of priority on keeping that Thrall alive. Thrall's going to be in there. He's going to be using his Wind Fury, doing all the damage in the thick of it. And they're going to be just putting big priority on keeping him alive. He's the big frontline damage dealer. Vala obviously is going to be in the back line as well. So we're going to see how this works out, though. The double healer support composition that we've been seeing is definitely something new, and maybe Heroes Hype really won't know how to deal with it, but we're going to see here in just a moment.
I'm actually asking the team right now exactly how they want us to pronounce their name of WrKkd, and I'm not entirely too... WrKkd. Okay.
WrKkd. Okay, there we go.
So it is Team WrKkd. Awesome. Good luck, have fun, guys.
I'm going to have to write that down so I don't... Okay, here. Where's it? I'm going to have to write that down.
Write that down, yeah. WrKkd is WrKkd, not worked. Should have seen that coming. But they are all now ready to go. We're going to be jumping here into game number 1. I've given them the... Oh, were you not in this lobby?
Nah, man. I don't need no lobby.
Woo, that was close. All right, but we are going to jump in. Garden of Terror with the Shaman boys here to start us off with WrKkd up against Team Heroes Hype. And, you know, we talked about this just before we went live. We've been seeing more and more of the double supports. Like, this is, I have to assume, a fight dog because they got a fight dog or a battle wing. Like, one of these two have to kind of pick up the slack for the damage. Absolutely, because, you know, if we catch out that Thrall, he's in a ton of trouble.
One thing I mean, it's obvious that they put so much priority on this Thrall with the double healer. It's all about that Thrall. If that Thrall isn't up and ready to go, their team fights are just not going to be anywhere near proportionally as strong as if he was up, obviously. But especially in a composition like this, where you're putting so much priority on the Thrall, as evident by the double healer pickup. So it's going to be, if he gets picked off and out of position before team fights even go down, then Team Heroes Hype is going to be able to just absolutely roll over them. They're not going to have enough damage. Whether this Vala wins single target right-click build or she goes multi-shot build, they're going to have that Thrall up. He is a linchpin of this composition, and it's really something to be paying attention to as this game goes on once team fight starts busting out. But we're loading into the map right now, ladies and gentlemen. As my good friend Sean said, the map is Garden of Terror. A map we haven't seen much of recently. It's all been, you know, Dragonshire, Sky Temple, whatnot. I actually didn't see it at all last night at Kings of the Storm when I was casting of Zoe. I didn't see it once at all.
We even had the Bounty base, the Blackheart base.
Yes, we went ahead and went to the Booty Bay the Blackheart Bay, or rather. I keep calling it Booty Bay because I watch Zuna stream too much. But
World of Warcraft, man. The World of Warcraft.
Dude, Stranglethorn Valve, back in vanilla when the game first came out, that zone was awesome.
Wasn't it?
If you were on a PvP server, man.
Oh, man. The level
That's
60
the zone Booty Bay was in.
Level 60 boys. If they ever bring out private servers, I'm going to have to raid my wallet. But, you know, we'll leave that for another time. Right now, though, coming in Team Blue, Team Heroes Hype, Taza, Hawkfu, Ursadon, Yuki, and Suki. Not names that I've personally seen in a while, but it's good to see them back here on stream. They're going up against the newcomers, WrKkd. And please, Mr. Seth, tell us who is on that team.
Up in the top lane, we have White Shadow on the Vol Demon Hunter, Twinkenstein on the Arthas, Angel Sized on the Brightwing, Redaria on the Rhaegar, and Biznats on the Thrall. The gates are down, the lanes are taking shape here, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we have the Lich King and the Vala up in the top lane. Not much too gank potential going on there.
I think that's just going to be that's a roaming Arthas.
Yeah, I agree. Tassadar going mid lane. That's obviously safe lane. Tassadar like the safest laner in the game right now. And looks like priority from both of these teams being put into the bottom lane.
Yeah, and we do like to see a 1-1-3, especially with a setup like this. You got the Uther to protect Tychus and the Nazebo. They between the two of them, their wave clear is absolutely insane. They should be able to push fairly decently, but they are against Thrall. They are against Brightwing. Brightwing and Thrall should be able to deal, you know, a little bit with their survivability here. They don't have the best of wave clears. Biznats is going to be okay out of that one, but he does have to tap the well this early. But you know, between them, they should be able to keep the enough ammo there. It shouldn't be a hard push, but they are going to struggle a little bit.
Agreed. And one of the things, that dictates lane configuration on each map is the mercenary camps and what lane they go to. And on this map, it's a little bit special because there is no boss on this map. It's bruiser camps and siege overs only. And that's why the laning configuration on this map sometimes can be a little different than other maps, specifically because there is no mop. But one thing that does dictate laning is the nighttime with the seeds. And we have our first nighttime up top, though. Taza needs to be careful. He's probably going to queue out of harm's way, or he might stay in there with his buddy Hawkfu backing him up.
Yeah, Hawkfu there with the shields. They got double shields here, but Biznats has come up from the bottom. That's going to be it for Vala, though. She does not have that survivability. Twinkenstein, he's going on top of Taza, but it's Biznats going on top of Hawkfu. The split damage means low hit points on both of the hero type, but no deaths. So that is a little bit of an error, I want to say, here from WrKkd. They did pick up a few seeds, and now they're going to go straight into the big guy here with that top lane advantage. But bottom, they were just content with their seeds. They're going back to lanes to soak, and now we're actually looking at a bit more of a collapse coming out.
Yep. And both teams are level 4, which is a very important talent for this for nighttime. Hawkfu takes some harassment damage from the Vol Demon Hunter that White Shadow is playing. He's going to be all right, getting backed up from his buddy. Brightwing phase shifted in here. Hawk immediately getting invaded, but healed and shielded up. Twinklestin, he's going to be going down. So their big frontliner is down for WrKkd. They got to be careful here because without their Arthas, they don't have the guy tanking up and zoning for him. So that is going to enable Team Heroes Hype to get a good chunk of seeds out of this boss here and give them a good experience advantage.
Yeah, Arthas wasn't able to walk away out of that one. Suki's going to be okay on the back of all this. Biznats, his hit points have been very variable. They've been up and down, and then so much burst healing come out of him and his combos. He did actually save out a few of his teammates there. He had a really good feral wolf. It's not feral wolf. It's frost wolf. Feral spirit. That's the
feral spirit.
Yeah.
Boom.
Too many wolf monikers here in World of Warcraft coming out. See, now you got me thinking back to the level 60 days.
I know, man. I'm sorry. It was a good time. Best part of my life. Team Heroes Hype, though, they have secured themselves 100 seeds, and WrKkd does not want to let that go unrelinquished, and that's exactly what they're doing. Twinkenstein's going to get caught in a good zombie wall, though. Allowing Team Heroes Hype to disengage is exactly what they're doing. They do not want a team fight here. There's only 4 of them with them. Hawkfu is coming in from the north, heading south, and that is the turnaround for Team Heroes Hype, getting a kill onto the Arthas. Once again, WrKkd does not have the frontliner. Arthas going down. He's not level 10 yet, so he doesn't have that Army of the Dead to fall back on and keep himself alive, and he's going to go down for the second time in a very small amount of time.
Yeah, but between the heals and the shields, I mean, we do got the protective shield here from the Brightwing. Like, they do have a lot of tools here to deal with Heroes Hype, but it just doesn't really look like the synergy has so far come to pass. Been, what, 3 kills and no. That was actually a terror now. And he's going to be heading top as I'm looking at bottom. I mean, these towers, the first one was actually really hurt. Didn't go down in the first engage, but now with a 4-man collapse down here, it is definitely going to be it for the gate, as the rest of everyone here from WrKkd is going to be dealing with Taz up top.
One thing I want to talk about real quick is the level 4 choice from Rhaegar is focused attacks. It's an interesting choice, as a lot of people think that's one of the worst talents in the game. But as you were mentioning, the Rhaegar is going to have to do a little bit of lifting in the damage department. And it looks like he's putting some focus on it into his attacks. WrKkd getting the focus attacks at level 4. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that decision. I feel like, yes, it gives him a little bit of a damage boost, but what he loses out at level 4, I mean, you're losing Farsight, which is obviously a great utility spell, giving you vision. There's a couple other options at level 4. I think
Feral Heart is the big one.
Yeah, Feral Heart, again, that's what I was just about to mention at level 4, but he's going with the focus attacks. And level 7 this year now for both teams. Looks like standard stuff across the board, with the exception of Vala going with the cattle pulse, something we haven't seen in quite some time.
The cow drops. Okay. You're right. Usually with a multi-shot build, it would be...
I said cattle prod, didn't I?
Yeah, I think it's a catapult. But...
Okay.
The cow drops going down, you know, the little ouchies on your feet, if you think Die Hard, if you really need to. I always think about Die Hard whenever I hear calf drops going down because of his feet. But good movie, otherwise unrelated. But yeah, usually you would see the battle momentum, just like you see here with the Thrall. The Thrall also did go with the Mana Tide there as well, so every time he pops that Frostwolf Resilience, he is going to grab mana as well as the health. It's a good sustained talent, but you do give up a little bit more damage with it. I mean, we could have had a double Envenom there. We could have actually had Thrall Arthas roaming with that comp between the two of them. They had a decent amount of CC, and that should be able to lead them into some kills, but we didn't see that early. It was very static lanes. The push has been very real. We got the ults now here as well.
Yep.
Heroes Hype, they have a 3-level advantage on paper, and this is just not looking good. There goes the Wolf. Ooh.
Has a Goldberg spear in there for any of my WCW fans back in the day, going in there and getting themselves a kill on to Rhaegar. Almost said Thrall. On to the Rhaegar, and that's just that level 10 advantage. Right now, Team Heroes Hype looks like they are absolutely just dictating this game since the gates have gone down. Yeah. Playing very well, playing to the map, getting the first Garden Tier right now, having the better positioning, and they are a very experienced team. WrKkd team looks rather... hold that thought. Twinkle saying is definitely getting initiated on here. Ravenous Spirit going down, falling with the Divine Storm. The frontliner is dead once again. WrKkd has to be careful here. They don't have their Arthas, even with the double healer composition that Ravenous Spirit just completely tore apart WrKkd. 2 going down almost for free. The middle fort going to be going down as well. And Team Heroes Hype is just going to continue their pace and just really putting it on to WrKkd.
Well, a lot of people might be asking, why do we see double supports? In this case, I think it was just a drafting issue. Like, the draft here is just so much stronger. There's so much more early game, and now that they've solidified themselves into a 2-talent tier advantage, Heroes Hype, they're not going to be letting up this pressure anytime soon. But the double supports, you go with the heals, you go with the shields. But the big important part of that is the double healing ward that you're afforded out of it. Now, we can't get it on the Brightwing, but she doesn't really need it with that passive. But we don't have it here level 1 on the Rhaegar. You did go with the Spirit Walkers, which is a good healing option, but it is not a healing ability.
Agreed. And he also went with Bloodlust.
So. Oh my goodness. And we have Emerald Wind on top of that. I'm curious as to the synergy there.
Yes. There isn't much. I feel like there's not much synergy, except the only exception I think of is Thrall. They really are going all in on this throw as hard as you can. Up in top lane, Angel, the whole entire front line of WrKkd just got completely caught out with the Divine Storm. 3 going down within a very small period of time. Hawkfu sitting in the back line, laying the Psionic Storm down. White Shadow Vault is on cooldown. He's going to be going down. Ravenous Spirit being used just to possibly I was about to say secure, but Radaria on the Rhaegar's note. Ghost Wolf out of there as the lone survivor on his team. Team Heroes Hype is going to get this last outlying fort that WrKkd has available to them. Map control is diminishing, and Team Heroes Hype continue to lay it on them.
We didn't see a Bloodlust there. Curious, no, we did not see a Sundering there as well. No Emerald Wind. Like, we had the ults ready to go, but we just didn't have the positioning. Perhaps they got jumped a little bit too startled. The CC on the front line here. We had the Judgment go in. We had the Divine Storm go off, and that set us up into a great Ravenous. And we're going to be looking for these counter tools to the Nazeebo, the Thrall pick. Not a terrible one whatsoever, but we just haven't really seen it used to big effect. Now, what happened is we did actually get some seeds. So we do have our first Shambler on the board here for WrKkd, but are they going to fight with it? Are they going to push for it? They need to try to close this experience gap. Here comes the Bloodlust and the Strafe, but I mean, Yuki had that sprint and he got out of dodge. Actually, we had double sprint there, Yuki and Suki, and ultimately that was 2 ults for literally nothing.
Yeah, there seems to just be a lot of miscommunication going on with WrKkd right now. I mean, it was a 4v5 up there right in the mid lane where Bloodlust was popped at the same time the Garden Terror pushing bottom, which that's okay, but at the same time, Tazza on their own Garden Terror is pushing down this bottom keep. Almost went down. It's still taking a lot of damage from that pop. Tazza's going to Eldritch Runes himself away. He has the 2-3 members of WrKkd chasing him down, but Tazza's now in the safety of his own team. They did lose their first fort in the bottom lane, but all 5 members of Hype are in the mid lane, threatening this mid lane keep. And I mean, one of the things about the Garden Terror is its mobility. It can only move so fast. Unless he wants to cancel it prematurely to defend this keep, he really has to commit to this. And Team Heroes Hype knows that, and that's why they're putting so much pressure into this mid keep. They're more than likely going to be able to get it here, and maybe even some kills. Twinklesign getting caught out of position. Suki does get hit with the Howling Blast. No follow-up. A cast aside is going to put both the Arthas and the Brightwing into a terrible position with the Archon being popped from Hogbu. Judgment onto White Shadow. He's going down, and I think this is just going to be the game right here, Sean.
Yeah, Biznats was trying his best. Oh, that's interesting. I got a big arrow there on the thrall. Didn't even get the fort there in the mid. So, I mean, they traded out a fort for, what, a keep? Almost 2 keeps at a team wipe, and now the loss. It's, you know, yeah, hopefully the WrKkd are going to come back into this VOD, and they're going to look at some of their play. They can, you know, correct their issues, come back into it much stronger for their experience here. And hopefully we'll see them next time here in the ESL Go4Heroes Americas. But today we are saying adieu to them as Heroes Hype comes out strong in the first round matchup to take the win here in the round of 16.
Good job to them. They definitely were they definitely outclassed WrKkd. WrKkd is looks like they're maybe a new team, but as you said, it looks like they need to go back to the drawing boards, figure out what they did wrong, and improve on their coordination and their communication a little bit. And hopefully we'll see them next week, maybe have a little bit more success. But until then, Team Heroes Hype is going to be moving on.
Right, because you know, this isn't a monthly. Not everything here is best of 3. It will be best of 1s until finals. We do actually have a few casting teams out and about to cover various matches, but for now, there was quite a few buys. There was some unconfirmed teams, and 12 of our 16 checked in. So on the back of all this, taking a look, Heroes Hype will move on to Evil Geniuses, and more than likely, we will also be moving on to cover that match as well. Tempo Storm do have their bye. They're looking for the winners of ESV Wildfire and Baddies. That will also lead us Prime Heroes Gaming and Infernus to take on RGE APM, a team that I've now covered a few times and they're slowly growing on me. And as well for the last of the quarters, ESV Tempest and Glorious are going to be going head-to-head. Glorious did actually just manage to qualify on Friday.
They did, and good for them because they recently had a big roster change. There was a big roster change across many teams. Obviously, Simba Gaming, now known as Tempo Storm, picked up Glarong from Glorious. ZP is now on, I don't know if he's officially on there yet, but now he's been playing with Geniuses for the better part of about 2 weeks now. So ZP was on Glorious. He was the main, obviously well-known, very well-known streamer, well-known personality within the community. He was really one of the founding fathers of Glorious Gaming. He ended up going over to Evil Geniuses as a sub. We don't know if there's anything official yet. Evil Geniuses has been playing with several different people over the course of the past 3 or 4 months with varying levels of success. Glarong, again, a very well-known player. I think one of the most single-handedly talented players in the North American scene right now. He went over and replaced the support of Mad Timmy on Symbiote Gaming, then went to Tempo Storm. And then Glorious Gaming picked up, in replace of ZP and Glarong, they picked up Zix as their main warrior. And, oh, darn it. Darn it. Help me out here, Sean. Who's the other one they got on Glorious Gaming there? Don't quite remember, but they picked up someone else.
Zizix or Zix. Zix is the big name that I actually call, but you know what? I can just actually click through and find out for you.
The power of the internet.
I know, right?
This information.
Protege.
Protege, thank you. Yes, and Protege we saw kind of was like this this go-to sub for a lot of teams. I saw him play with 2Arc. I saw him play with Murlocs. I'm pretty sure I saw him play with Murlocs as well. So he's a well-known player as well. Now he's on an established team of Glorious. So with Glorious getting 2 new members on their roster, they went ahead and they've been rather successful with it for a team.
They have.
with a brand new roster. So good for them, and they definitely have a bright future ahead of them if they keep that up.
Yeah, they've definitely come out strong. And as I said, they have now actually qualified with Evil Geniuses, with Tempo Storm, these big names starting out with the ESL majors this week. So we're going to be very interested to see where that's going to go. But for now, we're going to find out what our next game here, Cup number 9, Go4Heroes Americas Cup. Mr. Shane Gucher and FourCourt, we will be right back with our next round. And, guys, go out there, spread the word. I hear there's something called Sports Ball going on today, but it's all about heroes, man. You know you want to come here. You know you want to support the hero scene because we're going to be much bigger than Sports Ball by the end of it all, right?
Agreed. And, I mean, Sean's Canadian, so he thinks the NFL is a hockey league or something like that. Or no, I'm just kidding.
Come Friday, it was just like, so we're doing the monthlies tonight. It's like,
yes, I remember.
Are we? Why? It's like Super Bowl's on Sunday? It's like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the reason Jake was like, we're not doing ESL Sunday. We're going to be watching the Super Bowl. We're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that thing. Yeah.
That's what I call it here from Canada. But, all right, we're going to find that match for you guys. Stay tuned. We'll see you in a few.